Hey everybody, welcome back to the Track Limits podcast presented by Formula Addict. We are here in Montreal in a hotel room, which is a little bit different.
It's been a makeshift studio.
The setup took a while.
Yes,
we got to make it right.
But we are really excited. The Montreal GP just ended. Before we even go through the top 10, what a weekend we've had. I mean, we have to thank all our partners, AlphaTuari.
Yes.
We had Red Bull Canada and Red Bull overall. We had Peroni and Aston Martin, and we had Pennzoil and Shell helping us with Ferrari. I want to start actually, Mikey, Feven. You guys were in the paddock over the weekend with AlphaTuari. How was that experience?
Honestly, it was amazing. Like it's weird. We've been fans for so long, and to actually be in it, like you see all these drivers, everyone walking around, you feel like you know them because you've been looking at them on the TV for so long. So to be able to go up and say hi and ask for a photo with him is just such a surreal moment. So it was amazing.
Yeah, I would say surreal is kind of the word I would use as well. It was a pretty magical experience. We also got to go into the garage during both the qualifying and the race and got to listen into the radio and watch the race from the garage and see the guys as soon as, there's a yellow flag or something, like the way they react and just watching the commotion. It was magical.
Wow. And did you actually even understand what they were saying in the radios?
No, it was all coded, and sometimes it was very loud. And but there are some, like Yuki said, "Thank you, team" at the end, and
Because he's losing an engineer. Right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
actually said that to me. He's like, thank you for your time.
Oh,
and
that's so
everything.
sweet.
No, it was good.
It was really interesting because you can flip towards just to watch and hear the commentator on the Sky TV, I think it was, and then you then could flip through and just listen in on the mechanics, and you're like, P1, 2. It's coded. You don't even know what they're saying, but it's pretty cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
Henny, with Red Bull, I mean,
it was
y'all were
awesome.
partying too much.
Yeah, I think
I'm still starting to talk.
There was a lot.
Yeah.
But, the Paddock Club on Friday was fantastic. We got to see Christian Horner talk, which was very intimate. It was just for the Paddock Club members for Red Bull. We also saw Daniel Ricciardo. He was a ball of energy, man. He came in. He was just hyping everybody up, talking a little, smack about Canada, but he backed it up, and Red Bull did an awesome weekend, and Red Bull Canada threw an awesome event throughout the whole week. So
they
we
really
gotta
took
give
care
them a
of
big
us.
one. Oh yeah.
Brilliant.
And
Amazing.
AlphaTuari is more than just a racing team.
Yes.
It's an actual fashion brand.
Yep.
We're actually
We're
all
looking-
wearing.
Did it as all-
We're
yeah.
actually all
Give
wearing.
him a little fashion show
Yeah.
while we're here.
So-
That's why we stood up today.
Yeah.
Yes, we wanted to
Very
show
true.
the fit.
Yeah.
I was just going to
That's
say
why.
that worked out well. Yeah.
And I was on the opposite side with Shell and
Boo.
Ferrari. I know.
I'm joking.
I was actually crazy though to think that we were jumping around so much. I feel like people watching our stories were so confused. They were like, "What? Where are they? What are they doing?"
Yeah.
But no, it was a good result for the team, obviously. And then I think Shell, Pennzoil in particular, being able to actually go to the test lab, that was probably the best part for me. Is just being on the Friday, being able to look at the chemicals that are being provided by a Pennzoil or a Shell. We were looking at the engine oil, for example, and seeing that they change color before and after. But I didn't realize how it's extreme. It's, you can't. It looks like poison almost.
Yeah.
And to see the V2.5 that Ferrari's providing in a small vial, and just kind of talking to the chemical analysts, they weren't even chemists, they were chemical analysts is what they called themselves. That was kind of interesting. So that was definitely, best part of my weekend. I think overall, though, we had a really good race today. I mean, if we go down the list, you had Verstappen, currently now equaling Ayrton Senna in overall wins, which is incredible. We had Alonso, we had Hamilton as a repeat offender when it comes to the podium in Canada. You had Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz in 4th and 5th. You had Sergio Perez in 6th. You had Albon, which was incredible, I think, for everyone.
Yep.
To see them in P7. And then you had Ocon, Stroll, and Bottas. The DNFs, the people that did not complete the race, were Logan Sargent and George Russell, with Perez setting the fastest lap. So, Henny, your initial thoughts, what you thought of the race. Were you happy? Were you sad? Were you delighted?
Honestly, I was happy because we saw both Aston Martin and Ferraris outperforming what their expectations were coming into this weekend. Aston Martin did bring a big package. Practice didn't help that it was canceled, the first one, and FP2 being on the long stints, but it actually showed that they're ready. That's 5-second difference from Max, and I know there was a lot of brake monitoring and just push and lift, coasting, but I think they're coming back. They're coming back slowly but surely. They're gonna figure it out.
Feven?
Really good race. I would say that at the beginning, when the yellow flag came out, I was a little apprehensive about Ferrari's strategy to stay out and resist pitting. And I was just there, I had a pit in my stomach, literally. Just to see that one stop strategy worked out for them in the end, and they were able to maintain their position and actually come back quite like maybe 4 or 5.
Yep.
Grid.
Yep.
That was good.
Yeah, Mikey.
Yeah, no, it was good. Ferrari did very well to come back. Aston Martin, double points, very good. We were in the AlphaTuari team, and it was disappointing to see Nick had just pitted before the yellow come out, and then that would have been a free pit stop. And then Yuki, I didn't actually see what happened on the first lap was very unlucky that he got clipped.
Yep.
Because he had to pit straight after first lap. But all in all, very exciting race.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go for it.
No, it was just good because it like that Canadian track brings a bit of street circuit and actual racetrack. Yeah. So as we seen with George Russell, all it takes is a slight little error, and you just write the car off. There's no grass, there's no runoff area. So it was very exciting to watch.
I don't know who got driver of the day, but I mean Alex Albon.
Alex
Albon.
Okay, good. I was about to say.
Yes.
57 laps on the hard tire. I mean,
amazing.
Incredible. I mean, he's done it before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Australia, I remember. He'd finished it, 58 out of 59 laps on the hard tire. He pitted on the last lap to get 1 point in P10.
Yes.
So he's the man when it comes to being able to get that car home and get it safely home.
I don't think he gets enough credit for what he gets out of that Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to push like that takes a lot.
No mistakes.
Yeah.
No mistakes.
He created a DRS train that any of them could have overtaken, and he defended it like a dog.
No, he deserves driver today.
I think this entire weekend was really good. Even in qualifying, the fact that his strategy of kind of timing the rain and going on softs before everyone else and having the opportunity to actually go into Q3. I mean, he's just the strategy all was on point.
That Q2 photo, I think, has gone viral. The track dominance of Alex Albon over Verstappen.
That was cool.
I remember seeing that. If you actually did not watch qualifying, you would have been like, "What the hell is happening?"
What's going on?
I did take a picture of just being like for the memory.
Yeah.
What about the best moment of the race, Henny? What do you think your best moment was? Something that was like, wow.
Honestly, that's a hard one. It would probably just be Charles and Carlos being up there, showing pace and showing that they're willing to fight. I think that was the best part of the race. Qualifying was really entertaining. I will take it back to that and say that was even better than the actual race. But for us being there and seeing it and listening to the cars on the first turn, mind blowing. It was fantastic.
And the strategy too. I know we were in the suite where the commentators were ruthless. They were like, Ferrari gets the strategy right for the first time in a while.
Oh wow!
And the entire box where we were like, boo. Feven, best moment for you?
Best moment maybe wasn't on the racetrack. It was actually Lewis going into the garage, and I said, "Good luck, Lewis," and he actually acknowledged it with a little nod, and that really touched my heart. But I mean, the entire race was actually really entertaining. I think it was extremely special because we were watching it in the garage, and there weren't bad moments. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I was just consistently reliving each moment that I was there. But Albon, does.
Mikey?
It's kind of two really good moments. Like Alpine, Piastri, I was blown away by his performance. He did really well. Even like he took, I think it was at Hülkenberg in the first corner, late break, took the inside line. He tried to do it to Lando as well. Didn't work. But then even Lando in the last lap, like look how hard he's pushing. Like that McLaren's back fighting again. So I thought that was very exciting to see. But Piastri 7th, like out of the rookies, he hasn't raced this track. Like F2 doesn't come here, so I was blown away by his performance and his confidence. I think Piastri that's amazing for McLaren. Zach Brown should be very pleased.
He definitely should be. My best moment was De Vries and Magnussen. I enjoyed that moment so much because I remember texting you guys being like, "Well, it looks like it's probably just going to be another Verstappen win, nothing too out of the box." Obviously, I think by then Leclerc, Sainz, Perez hadn't pitted, so that was the only exciting thing. But then we get the best wheel-to-wheel combat I've ever seen between, Magnussen and De Vries. And obviously De Vries did not break on time, but thankfully Magnussen also didn't crash into De Vries. And both of them were able to continue the race.
It was lucky they didn't stall and they were actually able to get reversed. I was amazed both of them got back onto the grid or back onto the track.
It's funny you say that is your best moment because that is like my
worst moment.
My worst moment, least favorite moment because the guys had just finished pitting, changing the tires, right? Like he had just left the pit lane, and then that happened on the first turn, I think. And I see the guys coming back and immediately going, "Oh,
I know, disappointed.
And so like feeling that energy was like deflating. So I would say that was like a lower
moment.
Yeah, actually, I Hamilton's start was fantastic.
Oh,
that was
good.
That man knows how to start.
Yeah.
Alonso struggled there, but I mean, he brought it back, and
Yeah.
he had. I think Aston Martin had the better pace this weekend over Mercedes, but that was brilliant, especially watching it. And I was like, and even Max. I mean, Max just took off. Right from the start.
It was like, I think like I looked up and it was like 5 laps. He'd already like a second or second and a half lead.
Yep.
And then he like hops the car over curb. He's like, oh, nearly got knocked out there.
He hit a bird too.
Yeah,
I seen
Christian
it.
Horner came out and said the bird actually got stuck on the brake duct.
Oh,
How
he had
did it
to
not
manage
overheat
that.
it?
Yeah, he had to manage it the whole race.
He is unstoppable. at the moment.
Crazy.
rip that bird, but that was a great transition, right? Jeez.
R.I.P.
Biggest surprise or biggest letdown? Let's go with Feven. What do you think?
Let down Gasly. I feel like he had a bad qualifying. So I feel like he was kind of just set up not for success this weekend.
Henny?
So,
I'll say Hülkenberg. Going from P2 to where did he finish? 13, 14?
13, 14. He did have the 3 grid penalty.
Penalty,
to P5.
yeah. And
which I thought was harsh.
but you got to be stern. It's a red flag. You can't be doing that, right? So I
Yeah.
think that was justified. But outside of that, I think they just didn't have luck. Every time he pitted and there was a safety car or something happening, and it just cost him the race. But he had the potential to be really high up in the points. And that was, I think, my biggest letdown.
Yeah, I'd say that as well. Hülkenberg, like he started in P2. That was unfortunate. And then more so just Russell, like Mercedes could have got some good points there. But all in all, like I wasn't that disappointed with the race. I thought it was a really exciting race.
Yeah.
Like it was a great race. So there's nothing that stands out to me. So like I'm very happy with this race.
I'm going to take a bold one here, and I think I mentioned it briefly before, but Perez was my biggest disappointment. I'll tell you why. Because before, obviously Charles benefited, Sainz benefited, Perez benefited, all from strategy. But at least Leclerc was pushing very fast. Like he had made 3-4 overtakes before the opportunity to get that free pit stop came in. With Perez, I just did not see him competitive at all. He wasn't even gaining on Carlos Sainz even before you had him pit. And then after he obviously
he was
pit.
on the hard tires, and the Ferrari's on the
correct.
mediums.
Different
he
tires
couldn't get in the
compound.
right temperature,
But
right?
even when those mediums started to wear off, I did not see a gap go down. And I mean, honestly, for having the best car once again, it is you cannot be fighting for P6, P5. Honestly, we know that.
It's damage limitations.
Yes.
He couldn't risk another DNF, and he just wanted to maximize and get the points.
Yep.
Him trying to battle with Carlos Sainz is a mistake that might happen, and I think Red Bull gave him the let's finish and maximize the points, which is why they went for the safe, for the fastest lap.
Yeah, of course.
You kind of have to give Max even more credit. Like if you compare the two cars, Checo, Max is like he's getting so much out of that car, and he is taking risks because we see it. He's hitting the sausage. He's hitting the curve.
Trying to hit the fastest lap when he didn't need to.
Yeah.
So like Max does need credit. It's not like he's just going to walk it every weekend. Maybe he will, but that's because he's on another level right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
For sure.
What are we looking forward to next race? We had Austria coming up, the Red Bull Ring, home race for the Red Bull team. What do we think? I mean, Max is particularly strong on this track, but Henny, your thoughts?
I want both of them on the podium.
Yeah.
This is their home race. I need a 1-2. Checo will push it, and let's see Ferrari back there. They won last year, right? So let's see if that can happen. It is less corners, less deg that they actually fixed last year. So let's see if they can bring a podium.
Was it last year that Sainz's car caught on fire as well?
That was, yeah.
Okay, so let's get 2 Ferraris over the line. Perez needs to, like, I hate to say it, but Perez is going to be under pressure. He's got to perform. He's got to get that car up there because again, they are the best car in the grid. No, I love Austria. Like it's a good track. We sim it a lot, and it's an exciting track. To be interesting to see what Aston Martin can bring.
Yes.
Because I feel like he's chomping at the bit. He wants to get it back.
He wants that win.
Yeah, he wants that win. He even said to his engineer today when he had to coast because he didn't have enough fuel, so he had to coast maybe a couple of meters or before the race. And he's like, I want to win the race. So like he's chomping at the bit. So let's see what happens.
Feven?
I'm hoping to see a Ferrari on podium. Charles Leclerc. Particular.
That's it.
I was actually happy for Charles though. I mean, after yesterday, where I think we all felt bad for him.
Oh, 100%.
Great to see
defeated.
good pace today, and obviously strategy worked out. I want to see Hamilton back again on the podium now. 3 in a row it would be, and it'd be awesome because the confidence is being built up. I think again it was an inflection point last year as well, where you started to see Mercedes regularly on the podium. So if anything is to be said, win number 104 potentially on the way. Not next race.
Okay.
I was
I
like,
was
But I
like,
think-
wait a minute.
Look, I'm not effy on the predictions here. Okay.
Yeah.
I think in a couple of races, though, we could be talking about a potential Mercedes win. Again, it always has to come at the cost of Red Bull making a mistake, which is very hard between both the driver and the team, but still possible.
Yeah.
do it.
And don't forget the strategy.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts on the race, guys? Any final thoughts on the weekend overall?
This
Henny?
was one for the
You know what?
books.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it all in once we get home and have my own bed. I think I'll be like, this is probably one of the best weekends of my life.
Yeah.
Like my voice is completely done.
I know, yeah,
I
yeah.
am absolutely done.
Yeah.
But like again, as Henny said, probably the best weekend I can remember. Like honest to God.
Yep.
And it's hard to take it all in. There's so much going on.
Yep.
So no, just very, very thankful for the opportunity and an amazing weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Once again, guys, thank you to our partners. I named them at the beginning, but again, these are partners who we are excited to continue working with down the road, continuing to provide you guys the greatest content that we can find, hopefully stories that you haven't heard before, and predictions that might come true one day. Number four.
Wait a minute. Before we wrap up, you forgot something.
What did I forget?
This is the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
It is the 1 year anniversary.
Since we
Came up with the idea?
inception
The
of
idea.
Track
The
The
Limits.
idea
Yeah.
was born.
The idea was born
Boom.
here in Montreal Grand Prix in 2022. So to be back here, not just as fans, but fans and in
Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah.
involved within the sport is just really
It's a great dream come true.
it is
huge.
and it's only the beginning.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So guys, we
Team Hawk.
Yay!
Love that. No, thank you guys. Awesome weekend.
Yes.
And thank you all for watching. Hope you guys had a wonderful Canadian Grand Prix, and we will see you guys for our next episode.
Yeah.